How to be a strict carnivore. Let's get into it. Hey, what's shaking bacon? My name is Bruno Panucci. I hope you're doing well. So we're going to talk about how to be a strict carnivore in this video. You don't necessarily have to be a strict carnivore to do carnivore. So I want this video to be not misinterpreted as you're not doing good enough, because that's not the point of this. The point of this is a video to help you up your game. If you're trying to be strict or you're trying to be more strict, this video is for you. Some people really struggle with trying to be strict on this way of eating. It can be difficult to do in the beginning, but only in the beginning, because what happens is the longer you were good at it, the longer you're strict at it, the easier it gets. Because if you're keeping those sugar cravings alive by having a little treat every week or every month, what happens is it gets difficult to get to the point where it's easy. And for some people, they're moderators. And those people, that's great. If they can have something once a week or once a month, that's their choice. And I'm glad that they can do that. But lots of us can't manage carbohydrates, and we're abstainers, and we're trying to abstain, but we're moderating. And we're just not succeeding, or we're not getting all the health benefits that we want, whether it's weight loss or whether it's joint relief or autoimmune disorders getting managed. So there's ways to tweak that stuff down the road. Right now, just focus on being consistent. Being consistent is one of the most important things you can do with carnivore if you're looking to get some benefits from carnivore. I've mentioned before in some of my old videos the benefits a friend of mine got when he finally went strict, when he cut out those last few teaspoons of sugar a day. And like I always say, that's the equivalent of an apple, a small apple as far as sugar goes. And he didn't get any health benefits until he cut that sugar out, that little amount of sugar. And aside from that sugar, he was strict carnivore for 5 months. He felt no difference at all. His energy was the same. His health problems were the same. Fortunately, he was a pretty healthy guy to begin with, so he didn't have much to compare it to. So he didn't really change too much. But when he did, when he cut out that little bit of sugar, that's when he got all the difference. So there's a difference for some people between 99% carnivore and 100% carnivore. And if you're having trouble sticking to that 100% carnivore for more than a few days or a few weeks at a time, this video is especially for you. I like doing it first and foremost because I feel better. That's why I'm a strict carnivore. I'm a strict carnivore first and foremost because I came to realize I'm an abstainer. I can't moderate carbohydrates whatsoever. Sugar is a carbohydrate. All these carbohydrates screw with your blood sugar, and then it screws with your body fat percentage. So I do this first and foremost because I can't be a moderator. I want to be strict. It's easier to be strict for me than it is to moderate food every now and then. Some people think they could never do that. You know what? The reality is when you have the proper incentive, you're going to do that. I have a pretty big health history of pathologies under my belt, and I'm telling you, this has turned around most of them. Has it corrected these health problems? Yes. Did it cure me from these health problems? No. It's put them into remission. There's a difference between something going into remission and being cured of something. If I go back to having carbohydrates in my diet, not only will I just go out of control with them, but as far as any of my health problems go, almost all of them will come back just as bad as they were before, even without any significant weight gain. It's just that my body can't process that food very well. It's as simple as that. So I have to be really strict. Is that what you find you have to deal with? Do you find that you can relate to that? I know it's something I struggled with for a long time. The first time I went zero carb for a complete year, it was easy. It was easy because I had gum all day long with aspartame in it. So I was getting a sugar fix all day long, but it was a lesser evil than what I was doing at the time. But it wasn't healthy. You shouldn't be having 2 packs of gum a day just so you can maintain zero carb. Now I get that everyone's different, but trust me when I say I strongly feel from my experience and from the experience of a lot of other people, if you just tear the Band-Aid off fast, you're going to do really well when you're 100% strict with it. The more you drag this out by keeping artificial sweeteners in your diet and maybe diet pop or, like I did with the chewing gum, you're going to keep those cravings alive, and then you're going to give into things you shouldn't eat. And now it's not always going to be junk food like candy. Maybe it's going to be carbs of some kind. Maybe it's going to be French fries or pizza or something like that. Foods that you want to stay away from because those foods keep that sugar craving alive in your body. And then eventually your body's going to want to have the junk food that you can't manage. So that's why I found I have to be strict. Once I went back to introducing carbohydrates and sugar into my diet, I thought I could manage it. And this is a pitfall I see every now and then with carnivores online. They've been strict for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then they incorporate something that they'd cut out. And what happens? They fall off the wagon. And I fell off the wagon too. So you can start playing mind games with yourself after a while where you think, hey, I can have a little bit of that. And then you have it the one time. And some people go crazy. For me, it took quite a few times, and eventually I just couldn't handle it anymore. One time or a dozen times, if you're eventually going to go down that road, maybe it's not worth going down. Maybe it's worth just accepting the fact that you have to abstain or be really strict. And that's why this video is for you. So what's a good mentality to have when trying to be more strict or 100% strict on a carnivore diet? First and foremost, accept the fact this isn't a diet to lose weight. This is a diet to make you feel better. This is a diet to help your blood work look better. This is a diet for you to have more energy and less tired windows throughout the day. It's something that's going to make you feel better, and the side effect is you're probably going to lose a lot of weight on this. I've lost over 150 pounds doing this way of eating. I still have about another 70 or 80 to go, but it's a step in the right direction. So this is all good. Sometimes you just have to change your mindset. Sometimes you just have to accept the fact you're not a moderator. You've tried. How's it been going for you? Not too well? Maybe you have to accept the fact you're an abstainer. And this isn't something you can just do for a short while. It might be your new norm. Like I said before, if you can moderate, hey, that's great. And you're happy with what that's given you, that's great. Keep doing what works for you. I wish I could moderate. I can't though. So I've just accepted the fact that this isn't a crash diet. This isn't something for me to do for 6 months or for the foreseeable future until I decide I want to have pizza again or something like that. I've accepted the fact I just can't go down that road. Another thing you can do is eat fatty meat. You don't want to eat too lean on this way of eating. If you're eating too lean, you're going to risk putting yourself in rabbit starvation or getting protein poisoning. I've done that a couple of times to myself through the years where I was eating too lean. I wasn't getting all the health benefits and my energy was off. My hair was thinning. I was cold all the time. I felt like I was tired all the time, but I couldn't nap. I had too much energy to nap, but I was exhausted because I was only getting by on a few hours of broken sleep a night. I'd get maybe 2 hours of solid sleep, and the next 2 to 3 hours at most were broken. And I'm talking waking up every 20 minutes to a half hour. So those are just some of the symptoms if you're dealing with protein poisoning, just not getting enough fat. So it's not that the protein's bad, it's that you're not getting enough fat. Protein's a building block, fat is your fuel source. You need the building blocks to keep your lean mass up. The fat is what gives your body energy to do its job all through the day, to move those building blocks all throughout your body. The next thing is surround yourself with the right influences. I'm talking in your personal life and people online. If there's people in your personal life that are just chastising you for this, you don't have to cut them out of your life, but maybe don't talk to them too much about this. Start resonating with the people you find you're more drawn to in this carnivore community. There's lots of great influencers out there who have been down the road, you're already down. And if you resonate with them, stick with them. Start finding out who they resonate with and maybe start learning from them. If you have too many people telling you what to do, it can get confusing. So try and simplify. Try and do what works best for you and stick with the people that are best for you. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Try and find like-minded people in your own community that do what you do. Whether that's your personal life, your online community, maybe it's your work life, maybe it's your family. Say, look, you don't have to agree with what I'm doing, but I need your support right now. Maybe their support's going to be not having all this junk food in the house. Maybe their support's going to be making sure that you stick to what you've promised yourself you're going to do because you want to see if the benefits are as good as everybody's saying it is when you go to a strict carnivore diet. The next thing is keep snacks available all the time. Have a fridge full of food that you can open the door and pick at. I don't care if it's bacon. I don't care if it's burger patties. I don't care what it is. You want it easily accessible and something you can quickly take on the road with you. Keep this food available wherever you are. Now that it's getting a little colder, I'm probably going to be leaving like a lunchbox in my car a little more often for those times. I keep carnivore bars on hand all the time with me because if I turn around and forget to bring my food to work and I ran out of the food I normally keep at work, I have a second backup plan, and that's food that's in the glove compartment of my vehicle all the time. In the beginning, definitely eat the food you like most often. Try and make sure it's fatty. Try and make sure it's prepared in the way that you like to do it. Burgers taste great fried. They also taste great on a barbecue. I also cook them on a griddle. I happen to like them best cooked on a barbecue though. When I do batch cooking, they're all just in a container in the fridge or in baggies in the fridge so I can quickly grab one when I'm running out the door. Have that food that's accessible. Have it piled up in these places where you know you're going to be most of the time. The next thing is don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you're going to be good at these Thanksgiving parties, at these Christmas parties, at these work get-togethers. Don't hang around that stuff if it still tempts you. Don't test yourself yet. Wait till you're secure with what you're doing and then test yourself. You have to get to a point where that temptation is completely out of your system. The actual addiction, like with the sugar, goes away within a couple weeks typically, right? The actual process of the sugar cravings goes away. But after that, it's the habit, and the habit can last months. Months after you cut out the carbohydrates from your diet and the sugar from your diet, the habit of doing some of these things is going to take a while to break. And it's going to take a while to get to the point where those foods don't tempt you at all. For me, it was usually about 3 months. Some people could be a little bit sooner. Some people could be a little bit later. I've heard of some people it takes 5 months. But you want to get to that point where you're not even tempted by it. You could smell it and think, oh, it smells nice, but still have no desire to have it at all. That's the place you want to get to, especially if you're trying to be strict. Next, I would lean on professionals. Kelly Hogan, you can find her on Instagram or on YouTube at My Zero Carb Life, offers coaching classes. She has these classes. It's a class once a week. You pay monthly, and you're also part of a Facebook group, so you have your own community. If you find you don't have your own community online, you don't have your own community at work, you don't have your own carnivore community at home, you know what? Make your own community. And that's where Kelly Hogan's coaching group is really good. If she's full, she's always able to recommend lots of other people. She always finds people that are good coaches that she resonates with. So if her classes are full, you can go see these other people. Those monthly meetings are really good, and it's a great support group. I do it myself. I'm at the point where I'm pretty confident with carnivore, and I'm not worried about cheating, but I am looking to up my game. And she's a great resource for those experienced carnivores as well. So she's good for the newbies, and she's great for the people that are already pretty seasoned themselves, and they want to try and work with what they're doing, or maybe lose that last 10 or 20 pounds, or maybe they're still struggling with something here or there. You want to have a tribe. Find your tribe and let them build you up so that you can turn around and build other people up once you get up there. So I hope you found this video informative. If you're interested in joining the Facebook group, the link is down below. Amber O'Hearn has one. It's Keto AF. Check it out. Remember, this video is for people trying to up their game. It's not designed to make someone feel bad for only being able to go so far with the carnivore diet. This is a resource that's available to help you. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.